A man's mind may be likened to a garden, which may be intelligently cultivated or allowed to run wild. But whether cultivated or neglected, it must and will bring forth. If no useful seeds are put into it, then an abundance of useless weed seeds will fall therein and will continue to produce their kind. Every man is where he is by the law of his being. The thoughts which he has built into his character have brought him there. In the arrangement of his life there is no element of chance. All is the result of a law which cannot err. A man's character is the complete sum of all his thoughts. The soul attracts that which it secretly harbours, that which it loves, and that which it fears. It reaches the height of its cherished aspirations. It falls to the level of its unchastened desires. Circumstances are the means by which the soul receives its own. Circumstance does not make the man, it reveals him to himself. Men do not attract that which they want, but that which they are. Their whims, fancies, and ambitions are thwarted at every step, but their inmost thoughts and desires are fed with their own food, be it foul or clean. Good thoughts bear good fruit, bad thoughts bad fruit. The outer world of circumstance shapes itself to the inner world of thought. Not what he wishes and prays for does a man get, but what he justly earns. His wishes and prayers are only gratified and answered when they harmonize with his thoughts and actions. Men are anxious to improve their circumstances, but are unwilling to improve themselves. They therefore remain bound. Suffering is always the effect of wrong thought in some direction. It is an indication that the individual is out of harmony with himself, with the law of his being. The circumstances which a man encounters with suffering are the result of his own mental inharmony. A man does not come to the almshouse or the jail by the tyranny of fate or circumstance, but by the pathway of grovelling thoughts and base desires. Nor does a pure-minded man fall suddenly into crime by mere external pressure. The criminal thought had long been secretly fostered in the heart, and the hour of opportunity revealed its accumulated force. As the plant springs from the seed, so every act springs from the hidden seeds of thought, and could not have appeared without them. Act is the blossom of thought, and joy and suffering are its fruits. Thus does a man garner in the sweet and bitter harvest of his own planting. A man may rise and fall many times, but only as he rises in thought can he rise in life. Let a man radically alter his thoughts, and he will be astonished at the rapid transformation in the material conditions of his life. The universe does not favour the dishonest, the lazy, the vicious. It helps the honest, the industrious, the virtuous. Thought crystallizes into habit, and habit solidifies into circumstance. Bestial thoughts crystallize into drunkenness and sensuality, which solidify into disease and destitution. Impure thoughts crystallize into habits of deceit and cowardice, which solidify into failure and disgrace. Good thoughts crystallize into habits of grace and kindliness, which solidify into pleasant and sunny circumstances. Pure thoughts crystallize into habits of temperance and self-control, which solidify into lasting health and peace. Strong thoughts crystallize into habits of courage and decision, which solidify into prosperous and secure conditions. Energetic thoughts crystallize into habits of patient perseverance, which solidify into delightful success. Calm thoughts crystallize into habits of faith and serenity, which solidify into quiet and steady progress. A particular train of thoughts persisted in cannot fail to produce its results on the character and circumstances. A man cannot directly choose his circumstances, but he can choose his thoughts, and so indirectly yet surely shape his circumstances. Nature helps every man to the gratification of the thoughts which he most encourages, and opportunities are presented which will most speedily bring to the surface both the good and evil thoughts he has entertained. Let a man cease from his sinful thoughts, and all the world will soften toward him and be ready to help him. Let him put away his weak, sickly, and impure thoughts, and lo, opportunities will spring up on every hand to aid him in his strong resolves. Let him encourage good thoughts, and no hard fate shall bind him to misfortune. The world is your kaleidoscope, and the varying combinations of colours which appear at every succeeding moment are the exquisitely adjusted pictures of your ever-moving thoughts. You will be what you will to be. Let failure find its false content in that poor word, environment. But spirit scorns it and is free. It masters time, it conquers space, it cows that boastful trickster chance, and bids the tyrant circumstance uncrown and fill a servant's place. The human will, that force unseen, the offspring of a deathless soul, can hew a way to any goal, though walls of granite intervene. Be not impatient in delay, but wait as one who understands. When spirit rises and commands, the gods are ready to obey. Hidden inside every circumstance is the action of your own thought. The circumstances that a man encounters are the result of his own mental condition. As he thinks, so he is. As he continues to think, so he remains. Let a man bravely strive to root out every coarse, impure, and selfish thought, and supply its place with lofty and noble thoughts. He will find that as he alters his mind, so will his circumstances alter. Our life is what our thoughts make it. A man will find that as he changes his thoughts toward things and other people will change toward him. Cease to complain, cease to blame, cease to accuse others as the cause of your condition. Build yourself up in strong and noble thoughts. Use circumstances as aids to your progress, not as stumbling blocks. Practice self-control. Watch your thoughts. Trace their effects upon your life. Link cause and effect by patient investigation. Utilize your every experience as a means of gaining knowledge of yourself. When you begin to do this, you will have commenced building your destiny. You will realize that your environment is but the result of your own thoughts. You will know that your circumstances are your own. You will understand that your place in life is the outworking of your inner life. And when you lift your thoughts, your life must rise with them. When you abandon your weak and doubtful thoughts, your strength will grow. When you put away selfish thoughts, you will find yourself surrounded by opportunities to serve. When you stop drifting and begin to think with purpose, you will enter the company of the strong. Those who recognize failure only as one of the pathways to attainment. When you alter your thoughts, you alter your world. When you clean the garden of your mind, your environment will bloom. When you take command of your inner world, your outer world will obey. Everything begins with the thought you choose. Everything grows from the seed you plant. Everything changes when you change the cause within. Thought is the master of circumstance. Thought is the creator of fate. Thought is the builder of destiny. What you think, you become. What you allow, you live. What you cultivate, you manifest. And as you continue to think, so you shall remain, until you choose to think differently.